Welcome back to your StenoScan segment. In this segment, we are going to cover StenoScan and all of the many things that you can do within it. So let's return to our software. And I would like you to click on your StenoScan icon, which is the first smallest icon. You will notice in the StenoScan area, you will see all of your files that you have in your system. Let's assume for a moment that you were on a job and you did not have time to split jobs when you were going from one file to the next. And when you get back to your office, you need to split out one of the jobs because it needs to be edited. What you're going to do is you will find that file and highlight it. You will then go up and click on the Open button. And you will notice now on the right that you will see all of your steno notes for this file. If you need to, by clicking on the bottom icon, you can go clear to the bottom of the file. By clicking on the top icon, you can go back to the top of the file. You also have a search button and a search button with a right arrow, which means search again. So if you are searching for something and it does not find it in the area you need, you can do a search again. Now, what we're going to do first is I'm going to show you how to split out a file. So let's pretend for a moment that we have two jobs in this particular file. One needs to be split for editing. This red marker, wherever you position this red marker, is where the file split will start. You can move this red marker by clicking at the beginning of any word in your file, and it will move the red marker to that position. Now, we're going to say split start here in a moment because I'm going to split out the very first file in this set of steno notes. So we're going to go down here, and once you've positioned the red marker, you're going to click on the split button. You will notice it says split start. That's telling you that this is where the split will begin. The next thing you need to do is search for the end of the file. So we are going to click on the search button. At this point, my suggestion to you would be, if you put your certificate page in at the end of the first job, maybe you use cert for that include file, you can actually search on SERT. However, I do not have that luxury in this particular file, so I'm going to search on the word to. So I type it in, and I can hit my enter button, and if it doesn't find the first occurrence of it where I want it, I can say search again, and it will continue to move down the file until I locate the area where I want to stop the split. So I'm going to stop it right here, and I'm going to position my red marker on this period. Once I've done that, I can depress split again. It's going to bring me to this open window. And it's now asking me to give this file a name. So I'm going to name this Sample 9. And it says a file by this name already exists. Do I want to overwrite it? I'm going to say yes. And now I've got a partial steno file successfully created. So I can click OK. Now, if you'll notice, the file that I overwrote is called Sample 9, and right here it is. Because I overwrote an existing file, it's already alphabetized. However, the first time you do your split, it will be at the very top of the file. Now, let's say we want to split out the second file here. So I'm going to move my red marker down to the beginning of the next file. We're going to click on Split. Now, this is the easy part. this is the last file in the last job within this file. So once I do my split start, I can now actually click the button that says bottom. It's going to take me clear to the bottom of the file. And I can just click split again, and I'm going to name this one. And I now have a partial steno file successfully created. I'm going to click OK, and right here it is. This is an example of what I was saying earlier. Because I was not overwriting a file, the file is right here. So that is how you split a job. Now, let's say you want to append a file. This may be exceptionally important for those of you that are officials, and also splitting files. Probably my officials will use these two functions most often. So let's say we took a job yesterday and we continued the job today, and we get home to our office, and we now want to put both jobs into one file. Alright, what we do is we select the first job, the first day first. So that's my sample 9. This was yesterday's job. I select it and I click open. The next thing you want to do is you want to click on the bottom icon because you want to append to the bottom of the first day. Now you find the second day, which is Sam 8. And if you look down here, this one has 86 strokes in it. And what we're going to do now that we've highlighted the second day is we're going to click on append. And when you click on append, if you keep your eye on the number of strokes, you will see what happens here. Now, we have 1,529 strokes in this file. The thing you must remember here is you always want to continue to append to the first day of a series of jobs. So in other words, my sample 9 file is my first day. Sam 8 was my second day. Let's say I took a third day. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to my sample 9 because it was the first day. I'm going to open that file. I'm going to again go to the bottom of it, and this time I am going to select the third day, and I'm going to append. And if you keep an eye on the stroke count, you now see I have 2,381. So when I go to tran this job, I will go to my sample 9 file. Sample 9 is where all days will be housed. Okay? So that is how you append to a job. The thing you need to remember is when you're splitting a job or appending a job, you are splitting and appending steno notes. So if you do that, when you're finished, you must go back in and retran it. Question I get a lot is, will my original files be there? Yes. All jobs are under steno 9. However, my Sam 8 file is still here intact. So every separate job will still be here until you delete them. Okay, that's how you append and split jobs. A couple other things that I want to show you. If you use your internal steno mark as you're writing, and let's say you've depressed your steno mark because you want to get a spelling of a name, you can come in here, and if you click on markers, it's going to take you exactly to the area where you depressed the steno mark on your steno machine. If I click on markers again, it's going to take me to the next occurrence. The nice thing about this is, if it's a name, you'll know exactly where it is. So let's say that I hit the steno mark right here, and this was a name that I now want to define and quickly put in my dictionary before I tran it. So what I can do is I can click and drag to highlight these two strokes, and I can click on define. When I do that, it shows me the stroke. I can now define the English. So let's pretend for a minute that the name was Samuel. And it's going to place it in a job dictionary called Sample 9, because in Winner, the Winner software automatically creates a job dictionary by the same name as your file. However, you can also place this into your personal dictionary if you would like to, or any other job dictionary that you may have. So it really doesn't matter where you're going to place this right now as you're going through this tutorial. However, in the future, just be aware that you can put entries from the steno scan area right into any dictionary that you want. I'm going to click on OK, and that particular outline now will be in my Sample 9 dictionary. So that's how you can define things. So in this segment, you've learned how to split jobs, append jobs, how to define outlines, and one more item. For those of you that are writing paperless, either with your stylus machine or another machine, if you happen to need your steno notes, you can actually come here and select the file, and when you do that, you can immediately click on print. It's going to print your steno notes out in 3 columns on 8.5 by 11 paper, and just like steno notes, in a row, so that if you happen to work someplace where they want you to keep your steno notes and you don't want to use paper, this is the answer to that problem. Alright, that ends our StenoScan area, and in a moment I'll be back with business partners.